Hi, I'm Wes Allen with DM Tales, and today I wanted to be talking about the Handbook of Monsters for Iron Falcon RPG, and I will get to that a little bit later this week. But right now I need to make a video I did not want to make at all because Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast seems determined to throw a wrecking ball through a large swath of the RPG community. And this has got games I play and review making alternate plans. Let's roll it. Now, I'm not going to go into all of the issues that are going on with Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro right now. Suffice to say, they are trying to come out with a new version of the open gaming license under which all of the OSR retro clones are pretty much published. And the leaks that are coming out from them have got some very onerous terms that might make it impossible for games like Iron Falcon and Basic Fantasy and Old School Essentials to even exist. And this has got different developers a little bit upset and nervous. I'm going to put a link to some of the videos that discuss the legal aspects of what's going on behind this in my description below. Watch those videos and see what's going on. A lot of folks are trying not to be alarmist, but they're also saying, this is really bad. And one of the reactions that have come out of all this is that Basic Fantasy RPG, based on a forum post that was shared, I think, yesterday by Chris Gonnerman, who created the game, that the Basic Fantasy RPG has declared that Wizards of the Coast and the Open Gaming License are actually threats to their survival. Because if Wizards decides they're going to get rid of the OGL under which Basic Fantasy is published, they literally cannot function under the new one. It just isn't going to work. So what Chris Gonnerman has declared is that they are going to excise all language that comes from the 3.5 SRD, which is where the language from Basic Fantasy RPG comes from, and the OGL from Basic Fantasy forever. It is going away. In its place, they're going to re-release the game as a Creative Commons license, and that's how it's going to be shared and published from here on out. It's been fascinating to watch because Basic Fantasy is an open source game. It is community driven and community developed. Chris Gonnerman is just the overall author for it and the one who directs the community itself. And what's happened in response to Chris Gonnerman's call to get rid of all the language from the SRD is that one particular forum thread on the Basic Fantasy forums is now literally going through every paragraph of the core rulebook and looking for any language that matches the SRD from 3.5 and is giving alternative renderings for all of these wordings. They're also going to have to go through all the spells and the monster titles and the magic items and rename them new things. It is going to be a huge undertaking. But the community has stepped up to this challenge and they're just going through the whole thing. It is amazing to watch how many pages of forum posts there are now of people trying to go through the core rulebook and basically rewriting it so that it can be re-released under the new license. If you are interested at all in the future of the OSR movement and of the wider tabletop gaming hobby, this is something you want to check out. Go over to basicfantasy.org and look for their forums and the core rulebook forum thread to see how people are stepping up to the challenge of getting rid of the OGL and the SRD forever. Now, as of this recording, which is January 9th, 2023, the new Open Gaming License, which is really an ironic name at this point, has not been released. So at present, all of the current rulebooks, everything that is available for basicfantasy.org is still there. And it will be sold until that new license comes out, and then Chris Gonnerman is going to pull everything down until this work can be completed. This is a travesty of sorts for all these creators who have really banked on WOTC being a good faith partner in developing and expanding the hobby. And now that WOTC has shown that they're not interested in doing that anymore, a lot of folks are going to have to go in different directions. We've already seen a post from Necrotic Gnome saying they have contingency plans that they are working on in case this does drop. And I have to think that every other publisher who uses an open gaming license for their product, that's Paizo, that's Trollord Games, that is the creators of Hyperborea, all these different systems, and Osric, they're all currently going through this process. But if you want to actually take part of the community response to this, go check out what basicfantasy.org is doing and help them push this new version of the game out. That will be the Basic Fantasy that we love, but will be free of WOTC forever. I wish I had a better tale to tell today, but this is kind of where we are for the moment. I'm going to get my Handbook of Monsters review out as soon as I can because I want people to be able to buy it and give Chris Gonnerman some support before he's got to pull it down from sale off of Amazon and Lulu. The good news is, though, is if you got these books, WOTC can't stop you from playing them no matter what you do, and we can keep on playing till our hearts are content. So, hopefully we'll get some better news soon. Hopefully we'll see that the kind of indie developer space is going to move completely away from the OGL, so this will never happen to them again. But until that happens, it's going to be a little bit of a tumultuous time for a lot of people whose livelihoods depend on these games. Give support where you can while we can do it. Go buy a book or two. Help out the community. Help folks move past what WOTC's trying to do as they shoot the moon and try to put a stranglehold on a large portion of the industry. Until we meet again, though, happy playing, everyone, because our games can never be taken from us.